Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirrabbilalamin. Assalatu wassalamu ala rasulullah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. Today we meet again for our series of the the Khulafa ar-Rashideen, the four Caliphs, the guided, rightly guided Caliphs. And we ask Allah that He bless our talk today, and then we can learn as much as possible. And again, the person that we're going to talk about tonight is one of the big giant as well in Islam. And of course, I don't think I can do justice to talk about him. It's only about 1 hour. In fact, I have a book. I think I have 2 books about him, and it's probably about a couple of 100 pages, because one of the detailed stories, especially after the after the passing away of Rasulullah SAW, he was the Caliph for, I think, the longest one of the Caliph, if I'm not mistaken. Umar bin Khattab was 10 years and he was 12 years, so there's a lot of history and there's a lot of things, and even the split of what do you call that, is a split of understanding of Islam, that we have one stand of Islam, another one stand of Islam actually came, this is the starting point of that to happen as well. Probably we're not going to discuss about that split. We're just going to talk about purely on Uthman bin Affan Radhi'Allah anh. And then we ask Allah to send His salawat to our Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and all his family and all the followers until the end of time. Walaikum salam. How are you, Brother Ali? Alhamdulillah. Thanks for and then thank you again for everyone to come. I have about 20 slides, and again, I was probably spending about the last 3 or 4 days, and really find it very hard to pick whatever the stories that I want to say. But there's one thing that is the legacy of Uthman, which I did a little bit of quiz with some people. Not everyone knows actually what is the big legacy of Uthman. I'm not sure whether everyone here even knows as well. And then if anything that relates to this particular object, this entity, is always related to Uthman, but not anyone knows about it. Not every common Muslims actually know about it. But it's actually quite common. Yes, strangely enough, it's quite common, but not can anyone know. We'll come to that, inshallah. All right, just want to quote one of the hadith from Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, where he mentions a couple of names in there. He mentions about Abu Bakr being the most merciful of his ummah, and the strictest of the adherents of the Islam is Umar, and the most sincere and the most modesty was Uthman Radhi'Allah anh. The same hadith, Rasulullah also praised a couple of sahaba. The best judge, the best qadi is Ali bin Abi Talib. The best qari, Ubay bin Ka'ab. Rasulullah also mentions, learn Quran from 4 people. One of them is Ubay bin Ka'ab. One of them is Abdullah bin Mas'ud. Right? One of the 2 of them. And he also mentioned the same hadith. Rasulullah also mentions about Mu'ad bin Jabal. Right? So this is the best knowledgeable about halal and haram. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Inshallah, we're going to talk about the lineage of the family, and especially among the Arabs, nasab, the lineage is very important. And again, if you know, in the old days, right, in the 80s and 90s, right, I don't know whether you're old enough to go to 70s, 80s, there was 2 blocks, the United States and the USSR. Brother Ali, you know that, right? Sure. United States of America, and then what is USSR? It's the Soviet Union, yeah? Yes. Union of Soviet Socialist Republic, or something like that. So there was a big, sort of 2 big nations, right? They always try to, conquer lands and more lands, and to get influence. And you see, some of the wars in Vietnam and stuff like that, it's always because they want to gain what we call influence, and get more lands and get more oil and so on. The oil was a big thing now. Nowadays, people call it data is the new oil, but this is a different topic altogether. In that time, during the time of before the time of Rasulullah SAW, there was two big blocks as well. One is the Sassanid Empire, which is the Iran and Iraq. They have a big one, and the Roman and Byzantine Empire. So this is two big empire, right? But because they're so big, they try to conquer each other. But and the Jazeera Arab, just right into here, no one will actually want to go there. Because why? Because it's hot, it's small, and so that's why the people are actually back, sort of the a bit backward. Not many people, but this actually the advantage of that because the Arabs they gain their knowledge of they gain their what do you call the understanding nasabs and the language becoming strong, right? So because all these two big the empires, they're not interested of taking the Al Jazeera, the Arabs Peninsula. Because of that, there are many narrations where people can, for example, they know the family of A, you the son of B, the son of C, the son of D, the son of E. They can tell up to 10 to 15. Not only that, they can also tell, oh, this is the horse belong to this family. This horse is actually the child of this horse, the child of, they can go up to 10, 15 narrations. There's a special lineage that people actually gain as a knowledge, right? So it is very important for them to understand that as well. Umar, when we talk about Abu Bakr Siddiq was one of the person who actually have very knowledgeable about that. So that's why Rasulullah SAW, when he went for dawah for different tribes and different sub-tribes, he always consulted Abu Bakr because Abu Bakr has a knowledge of, oh, this tribe, the famous person is this A and then belongs to this B, and they have this fight before with these tribes and so on. This is part of the knowledge. All right, Uthman bin Affan, Radhi'Allah anhu, he's about 5 years younger. In fact, he was originally, the time of Jahiliyyah, he was called Abu Amr. His a nickname, Amr. Then when he had a son from the daughter of Rasulullah, Ruqayyah, by the name of Abdullah, then people call him Abu Abdullah. He has another title. His title is Zun Nur Ain, the honor or the honor of two lights. Anyone knows why? Well, your brother Ali, yeah? I can see you from here. All right.
Married two daughters.
Yeah, mashallah, married two daughters. It's actually the only one in the history, at least in the recent history, that someone married to two daughters of the Prophet. He was originally married to Ruqayyah, and they gave who gave him a son, and then the son passed away, and then after that the wife passed away, and Rasulullah gave him the other daughter, which is Kulthum, and he was married for a few years, and then after that Kulthum died as well, and even in that time Rasulullah mentioned, if I had a third one, I will give it to you as well. So what a blessing if someone would, Prophet Muhammad SAW actually said it to someone like that. So that means he is up to something. A couple of narrations about how he looked like. He was actually called one of the most handsome persons in Mecca. So much so that when mothers put their baby, what they call the lullaby, right? When they're calling singing lullaby, they call them I hope you like everyone's beloved like the Uthman. So the word Uthman is very famous because he's the beloved of Makkah, the Quraysh at that time. So people mention him and so on. And he was known for very modest. He never drank alcohol. In fact, he's the one who said that I can't believe people are actually drinking alcohol, right? And one of the best gifts from the Creator is our mind. And by drinking alcohol, we're actually losing our mind. It is actually is a blasphemous to actually getting rid of your mind, which is the biggest gift from Allah. So he said that, and there's no way someone who have a sound mind, would actually destroy the ability to reason, right? He also experts in lineage, genealogy. He understands this tribe's coming from that tribe, and then this person is the son of this person, is married to that person, and so on. All right. Okay, what is his lineage? What is his relationship to Rasulullah SAW? He actually met Rasulullah SAW in the fifth generations, which is Abdul Manaf. You can see here Uthman bin Affan bin Al-As bin Umayyah bin Abdul Sham, and then Rasulullah SAW bin Abdullah bin Abdul Muttalib bin Hasim. And Hasim and Abdul Sham, Absam is actually from the same father, which is Abdul Manaf. Yeah. So that is one of the, just a little bit, the history of Islam. One of the biggest one, which is here, we can see here, let me just quickly, let's say point it here, Quraysh, that means the tribe from this person, right? But within the Quraysh, there are two sub-tribe, which is called Bani Abdul Sham and Bani Hasim. But Bani Abdul Sham is more famous as the Banu Umayyah. If you remember Banu Umayyah, one of the biggest character, the biggest person in Abu Umayyah is Abu Sufyan. Yeah, there's Abu Sufyan. And from Abu Sufyan, his sons is Muawiyah, and then Yazid, and then Muawiyah. And then from his lineage, Allah bestowed them the first dynasty of Islam. So the Umayyad dynasty is actually from the son of Abu Sufyan. So it's a big tribe. And then after that, it was replaced by the Abbasid. That is one of the biggest story. And Abu Sufyan was he's so great. He is one of the chieftain of Makkah, and he was probably caught the cause of the Battle of Badr. He was the leader at the Battle of Uhud. He was the leader at the Battle of Khandaq, right? And he was the last person actually to embrace Islam, and reluctantly, right? And his wife, if everyone remembers, his wife is Hindun. He's the one who ordered Habsi to kill the uncle of Rasulullah SAW, Hamzah. So this is all come together. So there's actually, this is one from coming from the same tribe. Another relationship of Rasulullah SAW with Uthman is this, not many people know. Actually, the grandmother of Uthman is actually the sister of the father of Rasulullah SAW. So Abdullah and Baidah here is actually brother and sister. It's actually full brother and sister from the same father and same mother, right? And then she gave birth to Arwa. Arwa married with Al-As and Affan, and then Uthman. This actually is, what do you call that? The first cousin, the second cousin? What do you call that? This is the first. His father is the cousin of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So this one, another. So from the father side, he's 5 years in generation, 5 gap. But from the mother side, is actually like an uncle to Rasulullah sallallahu. All right. Another relationship with Rasulullah sallallahu. I like this actually. I actually put an effort to put this all drawing. After reading this, and I put a drawing. If you just read it, it's very hard to. So I put in right. I'm a picture person, so I'm a graphic person. Every time I go meeting at office, I always have something to draw. Always, it's always good to have something to draw. Drawing is a good communication tool. So I use this software. I use Xmind. So another relationship of Rasulullah SAW is one of the mothers of the believer, which is the one of the wives of Rasulullah SAW, is Habiba, which is the daughter of Abu Sufyan. And Habiba is actually the cousin, not the cousin, right? The cousin of Uthman bin Affan, right? And again, another relationship with that. You can see the Uthman bin Affan. Affan is actually cousin with Abu Sufyan. That makes Habiba as cousin of. Habiba is one of the wives of Rasulullah SAW. And just a little bit of story about, there was a treaty with between the Muslims and the Makkah time at the time, and then one of the things they do, the Muslims cannot enter Makkah to do Hajj or to do Umrah, but they can do it 1 year. But besides that, they cannot do any fighting or anything like that. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depends on how you want to see it, one of the Meccan tribe actually killed someone from Medina, and just few years ago, it was Abu Sufyan and all the Meccan tribe tried to kill Rasulullah, tried to to go to battle with Rasulullah. Just 1 year after that, he was so scared that Rasulullah take retaliation. So he actually sneaked out of Makkah and went to Medina, right? Just to please forgive me. I'm one of my tribes killed one of the tribes. Please don't go to Makkah and stuff like that. So he went up. No one actually accepted him, and he knows that his son, his daughter, which is Habibah, which is his own daughter. So he went there, and it's very. When I read the story, it's just amazing the story. And then he would knock on Habibah, oh fathers, and he would just, oh, I've not been seeing you for so long and so on, right? So please sit down. And then when Abu Sufyan sat down, Habibah, oh stop, sorry, hold on, and it was a small mat, and she took the mat. All right, now you sit down. And so, what happened? I want to sit down. Why you take the mat? The mat is too good for me, or I'm too good for the mat. No, this mat is is for Rasulullah SAW. Sit down. You're not what do you call it? Yeah, you this mat is too good for you, right? So this is iman, right? So no matter how you love your father and stuff, but this is Rasulullah is different. So that is again, that's why Abu Sufyan is really the last person who embraced Islam. Is really the last person. And then interestingly, how he became Muslim was actually when he was in Sham and he was being asked by the king at that time, and just probably just want to go to that detail a bit detail. So let's go back to, I'll get carried away to other stories as well. Yes, Abu Sufyan has a wife of Hindun. I told you mentions about that. It was Hindun who ordered Wahshi to kill the uncle of Rasulullah, Hamzah. Another relationship, which is we already know that Uthman married the. You cannot marry sisters at the same time, right? In Islam, but after one, yes, you can get married. So that's mine. And I think I don't know. There's in Indonesia sometimes people they when they in-laws, brothers-in-law, sisters-in-law, they sometimes think they are mahram, but they're not mahram, right? In some traditions, because we're so close, and sometimes even me sometimes, right? Even my my brother's wife or my wife's sister, sometimes we just too close. We just go hang out together, but it's actually no, you can't do that because it's not mahram, right? So in this case, after Ruqayyah passed away, then Rasulullah gave Kulthum. Uh, right, the story of Uthman and Ruqayyah was, I think was, the story was originally Ruqayyah and Kulthum were to get married to the sons of Abu Lahab, and because of Rasulullah doing da'wah and stuff like that, and Abu Lahab, tabbat yada Abi Lahabi wa tab, and after that Abu Lahab says no, they broke the marriage, and it was a big blow to the family of Rasulullah SAW, and Ruqayyah at that time, and at that time Rasulullah gave Ruqayyah to Uthman, and they were the first one to actually make hijrah, which is the first hijrah was not going to Makkah, the Medina. The first hijrah was to Abyssinia. So they went to Abyssinia, and Abdullah, the son of Uthman, was the first Muslim. Actually, was born in during that time. All right, just a little bit of stories about Uthman. Uthman never married multiple wives until the two daughters passed away, and then when the last daughter, which is Kulthum, passed away. Look at this is amazing, right? When the last daughter passed away, he was already 45, almost 46 years old. The son passed away, the wife passed away. He's actually alone. He was actually alone, and look at the patience that he got after that. And for the course of probably 12 plus 5, 17 years, and he got married to another 6 wives, and they have 9 sons and 7 daughters together, right? And again, at that time, tribes is all about family, the big sons and so on. Abdullah, which is this, actually died It is quite strange how he died. He was died by a peck of an animal. I think it was a bird or something. He was very young, 6 or 7 year old. So it was, and one of the greatest son of Uthman was Aban. This is very interesting actually. Aban bin Uthman was actually the first person who make a booklet of the Sirah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So you know the first histories of the Sirah of Rasulullah was actually Ibn Ishaq and Ibn Hisham. Yeah? But Ibn Ishaq actually mentioned Aban. So that's why you cannot find the book of Sirah of Aban, because the book by Aban is actually already been absorbed by Ibn Ishaq. Nowadays, what's the book from Sheikh Mubarak Puri? Ar-Rahik al-Maktum. That actually pick up from Ibn Hisham, and the book of Ibn Hisham, the book of Ibn Ishaq, and the book of Ibn Ishaq is actually influenced by Aban bin Uthman. Not many people know. He's actually one of the biggest sheikh at that time. All right. Okay, some of the life event is gonna be long. Hopefully, we can make it fast. Uh, how he embraced Islam? He was a good friend of Abu Bakr, and when Abu Bakr embraced Islam, and the first thing he asked is the closest friends, and one of them was Uthman bin Affan. He embraced Islam among other people like after Abu Bakr, Ali bin Abi Talib, and Zaid bin Haritha, and and sorry. And then after that, he was married to Ruqayyah, as mentioned before. Then, because of the persecution, they migrated to Abyssinia. And starting from that, when the Quran was revealed, he had a very, very strong relationship with Quran. And again, and I'm going to go to detail about that later on. When they moved to Abyssinia, they just stayed for about 2 years, and there was a rumor. I don't know whether you heard the story about few years ago about the satanic verse. What's his name? Salman Rushdie, right? You know what he quoted, Brother Ali? You know the Quran that the Salman Rushdie quoted was the story of Surah An-Najm, when after Rasulullah recited that, it was so mind blowing. The Muslim and the non-Muslim actually make sajdah. Everyone makes sajdah because it's so mind blowing. I hope one day we are blessed with understanding of Quran, that because so many people like Abu Sufyan was Mughayra, for example, when Rasulullah recite Quran at night, at midnight, they sneak out and they just want to listen Rasulullah reciting it, because the word is eloquent, and the word is so nice to hear, right? And when they, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? Okay, we cannot be here anymore. We shouldn't be listening to this. What happened for the people? So this Mughayra and I think Abu Lahab, right? Abu Lahab was there as well. So for them, so when Rasulullah recited Surah Najm, everyone was so mesmerized. It's so mind blowing. They make sajda, and because of that sajda, the whole Makkah made sajda, and there was a rumor that the whole Makkah had become Muslim. That's why then Uthman bin Affan and his wife Ruqayyah and some of the other sahaba, they, okay, let's go back from Abyssinia, go back to Mecca. But when they found out the Mecca is not necessarily the case, it's actually the persecutions of the Mecca getting stronger and stronger. Uh, when they went to Mecca, I remember I like this story because it's related to our brother here, brother Adil, right? His name is Adil Malik, right? When Rasulullah asked the Sahaba to go to Abyssinia, he said, "Go there because there will be a very just king." In Arabic, it's called Adil Malik. Yeah. So it's not Malik. Sorry, Malikul Adil. Malikul, the Malik, which is the king, and Adil. Adil is just. So go there because there's Malik Adil, and here we have Adil Malik. Right. You heard that, brother Adil? Right. Uthman bin Affan said that he loved three things. He liked to feed the hungry, to clothe the naked, and to read Quran. We're gonna talk about his relationship with Quran later on. All right, then Badr, Medina time. Uh, he was considered as it was the Battle of Badr. Battle of Badr was took place around the second AH, the second Hijrah, and it was about think what happened to the Battle of Badr. The Battle of Badr was. Do I have? Oh yeah, I have the map. I have the map. Hopefully, it works. I like this Battle of Badr. The Battle of Badr, what happened was, it was part of the Sharia at the time. It was allowed because people of Makkah, when they escaped to Medina, they left everything behind. They don't have money. They actually left everything behind. But people from Mecca, when they go to Syria, they have to go from. Yeah. Sorry. They have to. What is it? Yeah. Okay. They have to go from here to here, and they have to go to Medina, right? And then from time to time, Rasulullah SAW sent people from Medina to intercept the caravan, and took their belongings, and that belonging was that time was halal for them, right? So what is it? It's probably in our times they call it highway robbery or something, right? And why was it the reason? Because all the money and everything is actually they stole it from the people who left to Medina, right? So from time to time when they come here, the small caravan, 10 camels or 15 camels, Rasulullah sent some people and they stop it. Now this time around, they heard that Abu Sufyan was probably about a couple of hundreds caravan, like long one in here, right? And then when they come to here, and they Rasulullah SAW asked some people to intercept them, but Abu Sufyan was so smart, and yes, he went this way and he went this way, and then came to Mecca and asked Mecca, and then he makes some drama. Like some people, they put some blood or something. Oh, we get attacked by Muhammad and his gang. Please help us. And then at that time, people of Mecca, almost everyone, spend their money and everything. They go to the place called Badr. And Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam at that time just bring about 300 people. They think they just wanna intercept the caravan. They didn't know it was gonna be a huge battle. So it was a huge battle. It was a big loss from the Meccan time at the time, and there was right, and there was a big one, but no one knew. No, okay, but Uthman actually did not participate in that battle, but he was considered to be the Ahlul Badr because he was ready to go, and at that time his wife, which is a daughter of Rasulullah, was sick, and Rasulullah asked him to stay behind to look after your wife. So looking after your wife is more than looking after your family, actually more than going for a battle in the name of Allah. Yeah. Not only that, he was considered Ahlul Badr. After Rasulullah came back with all the ghanimah, the booty, Rasulullah also gave Uthman as well. So there was the big one is about 300 companions at the time. All right. Oh, okay. I got it in here. Ruqayya was sick and instructed to stay, and Uthman was considered. When I told this to my friends, and looking after your wife is greater than going to jihad, and everyone was so smiling. Anyway. All right. Umrah to Mecca 6AH. What is it in here? Okay. Okay. Now 6H. This is one of the biggest story as well. Rasulullah SAW had a dream that they should go to Umrah or Hajj, and Rasulullah asked everyone. It's about 1,400 people. 1,400 people. They asked, okay, let's go to Makkah and wearing Umrah, wearing what they call ihram. They're wearing ihram, and they went there. At that time, there was the traditions of Mecca. Anyone can go Hajj; they cannot be stopped. Anyone, and it was against their tradition. They stopped the Muslims at that time, and they stopped, and there was a little bit of negotiation here and there. And one of the things that Rasulullah did was to send Uthman bin Affan to negotiate how they can go Umrah, right? And at that time, there was a rumor that Uthman actually was killed. And this is a special allegiance, a special Baitur Ridwan, they call it, where Rasulullah SAW said, okay, Uthman was killed, so any one of you ready to go to battle, dead or alive, we go there. We want to take revenge of the death of Uthman. And Rasulullah said, this is my hand, and then this is Uthman's hand. And all the 1,400, okay, we're ready to go. But they don't have sword, they don't have anything. They're just in ihram actually. They're not going there for battle. But they are willing to sacrifice their life because of that Allah says, and my hand above you. And I think it was Innal Aziz, it was Surah Al-Fat. Yeah, Surah Al-Fat, yeah, ayah number 10. But Allah mentions that actually my hands above their hands as well. So this is one of this 1,400 people is one of the category of different sahaba. It's actually one person actually did not want to do allegiance to Rasulullah, and then one of the munafiq, right? The verse was in my mind. It was I remember the verse, and suddenly it escaped now. What? No, no. Inna lazina wa yubayi izanuku innama yubayi. I cannot read that properly. The font is a bit scared. I think in English is verily that the hands above your hands, Ya Rasulullah, and verily it is the hands of Allah is above them. I think that is the font when you copy and paste it is the font is I cannot read it anymore. Innalazina yubayi'unaka, they bayat to you, yubayi'unaka, yeah. Innama yubayi'una Allahu, and then yadullahi fauka aidihim, and fauka is above their hands. All right, I should have checked this before. All right.
You're getting old.
I cannot. Yeah. One of the things, probably I jumped the gun here. One of the things that when people just remember this, when people says the Quran, they will say the Musaf of Uthman. Right. This is one of the blessings of, because the first time Quran was compiled and then distributed with the teachers and everything is during the reign of Uthman. Right. So that's why even in literatures and in the non-Muslim library, they call it the scriptures of Uthman. It is part of the blessing, right? It doesn't mean that we have another scriptures. There's only one, but sometimes there are what do you call that? More sort of helpers, like the Fatah, the Qasra, and Dhamma and stuff like that. It was actually to help people non-Arabs to read. That's why they put the vowels, right? Not only that, I just realized that it was after I came to Hong Kong. Which verse particularly? Wa iza ra'aw tijaratan wa iza ra'aw tijaran aw lahwi an faddu. And I remember this, but when I read in the Quran in the app, I cannot read it because it was wrong. Then I compared to the Indonesian Quran, they put the nun at the end, so it helped me read it. But that part is only in the Indonesian Quran. You cannot find it in other Quran, right? But again, this is just the helpers. What do you call that? Just to support people who, and now come with the color coding now, the tajweed, the guna, the bila guna, and everything, right? So the tanun, the tasjid, and so on. So it's just the help. But originally, when it was first written by Hassan bin Thabit, Hassan bin Thabit, right? It was originally, he was the one who write that and standardize it and send it across places of where Muslims are. All right, all right. Expedition of Tabuk. it was at that time there was an information that people of the Byzantium or the Roman Empire wants to attack Islam because they start hearing that this small scrimmage of people start getting annoyed, so they want to do that. And Rasulullah did a counter attack by sending people to that. It was not actually a battle, but enough to scare the Roman that Islam they're so serious about this, right? And at that time, I did some calculations as well. And Rasulullah was asking anyone who wants to participate in this to foot the bill for Tabuk. And Uthman, he donated about how many? 100 camel. Sorry, what is it? There's I think he donated about 100 camel, no 90, and per horse of 4 million, and about 400 horses or something like that. And I did some calculations. It's about 10,000 US dollar or something like that. So it's actually a big number. And then when I copy and paste to here, everything is got screwed. Oh yeah. It's got the font is okay. The battle is about 30,000 Muslims, and there was not actually big happen there, but enough to scare the Byzantium. This is the Battle of Tabuk, and Rasulullah SAW mentioned that after this Tabuk, there's nothing can harm Uthman. So it was during the hot summer. So I did. Oh, I have that in here, Brother Ali. 940 camels and about 60 horses to make up 1,000, and then about 10,000 dinar. That's why I call it is about 17 million Hong Kong dollar. So I did some calculations last night.
At that time,
And that time, yes, something like that, yes. So it might be a hell of a lot of money right now. And also people having problem, especially during summer, during the hot season, people do not have water, and there's not many people at that. Many people have water, and it was Uthman who actually purchased the water, and he donated to people. So one of the things, if you think about rich people, right, and Uthman bin Affan, there's a two rich sahaba. One Uthman, one is Abdurrahman bin Auf. They're very very rich, but the thing, the money, they're not in their heart. The money is in the hand. So they can easily, can you imagine 940 camel? It must be seriously rich. 940 camels, right? It's probably how much money we have now, right? I don't think I can buy even 3 camels. 940 camels. This is some serious amount of money. And the thing is, right, you just gave away 940 camels with 60 horses. Not only that, look at his perfections, right? Not only the camel and the horses, including what do you call the brittle, the
this cradle,
whatever the paddle and everything inclusive in there, right? So it's probably more than that, right? So basically, he's the one who can easily give. Long time ago when I was it was for me this story, right? It is for us it's just too high, right? But I was blessed probably about 10 years ago. I was at that time my office sent me to do some work in UK, and I met someone who just like this, right? He worked for a company, and then he got like salary or something like that. And he asked his wife, do we have enough to eat for this month? Yeah. Okay, let's give the full month salary today as sadaqah. Just easy like that. It's just easy. And I said, what do you mean? How do you do that? And what happened? For me, I cannot. I heard stories like that, but I never knew there's actually a living person actually doing that. And when I asked, what happened if you need money? And he said, easy, I just ask Allah. So that relationship is already to that level, right? I remember Abu Rahman bin Auf also had the same story. He was coming back after 3 months or something from Syria, and then he like a long. I think the start of the caravan was already in Medina, and the other one is the end of Medina. Right? It was big one. It was a long caravan. And Asar Radhi'Allah just came to Abdurrahman bin Auf and says, remember your prophet or something like that. And Abdurrahman bin Auf just cried and then turned all his caravan to Baitul Mal. All of them. The money and everything. For them it's just easy. It's amazing. May Allah probably one day give us the sweetness of giving sadaqah like that. This is just because it's just amazing. It's just amazing. And we put $100 or $200 in the donation box. We follow the box until the end of the line. It's very hard for us, right? So sometimes, hopefully, this is not riyah. I just sometimes I test myself as well, how much I can put money into the box, and then sometimes when you pull it, it's like a pulling tooth. Oh, it's so I'm not gonna put this. I'm not gonna. Oh, right. I put it. Then I follow. It's very hard. But then next time I do it, it's a little bit lighter. It's a bit lighter, but it looks like you have to force it. It does not come easy. What Uthman Radhi'Allah anhu did, it does not come easy. You have to. It comes with the belief and an iman and everything, and it's not easy. But you actually can be blessed. The friend that I told you about, right? I was so shocked, and I asked her, how did you do that? How about if you need money? How about if your son need money? And it's just easy. I just raised my hand. It's just like you put your money in the bank. What happened if you need it? Easy. Just go to ATM. It's almost like that. For me, it's like, oh, this is like, can I touch you? Are you real? Right? This is just amazing. But I think that closeness to Allah is different. You come to a different level when your money just can easily like that, right? So may Allah one day give us the sweetness of iman where we can easily put money like that, and if we need it, we just like open ATM. Ya Allah, I want money now. Last time I put, because Allah pay at least 10 times, right? At least 10 times. Manja. See, nah, I was gonna say, manja. It's gone. I have to write it down. All right. Abil Hasanati falau asur amthaliha. He purchases about 3,500, probably about 8 million Hong Kong dollar or something, 3,000. All right. Again, during his time, during Rasulullah SALL's day, the Prophet, the Masjid Nabawi getting smaller and smaller, not because of the Ummah getting bigger and bigger. And Rasulullah said, we need this more people. And Rasulullah says, who can buy the land for the extension of the masjid, and then it will be something good for you in paradise. And Uthman was the first one donate his money to buy the piece of land. And then amazingly, I just found out today that the piece of land that Uthman actually purchased and become the masjid is actually part of the Raudah. Can you imagine how many people has prayed in that? Subhanallah. Right? And then, Raudah, right? I prayed once before and I could not finish my rak'ah. Someone actually elbowed me out of that, right? Because you have to, I don't know whether it's, I almost stopped halfway because I don't think it's prayer anymore. It's not namaz anymore. It's not a salah, because you saw like this, and then someone pushes you, and then you almost fell, and someone pushes, and I have to move my foot up to like, and then you cannot, so because people just push and push, and you can imagine how many people actually pray there. And that piece of land was the one that Uthman Radhi'Allah anhu actually purchased. It's amazing kindness and generosity of 20,000 dinar is about 8 million. During the Caliphate of Abu Bakr, he was the one who spent money and food to pay for the poor. And it was last time we came with the money, with the food, and some of the merchants, I think, I don't know what you call this. I cannot remember the word in English. When you stock up, you know that the price is gonna be very expensive. You stock up the food, then you can sell it in a higher price. It's actually haram in Islam, right? So when Uthman came with the food, people come, let me buy from you. No. I'm gonna give it free for everyone, right? So because when these particular people, when they bought it, then they know it's going to increase the price, right? So yeah, during the Caliphate of Umar, he was as an advisor, and he was the one who suggests to use the Hijrah as the calendar. So the Hijrah calendar. So every time you see the Hijrah calendar, remember that there was the suggestions of Uthman. I wrote the story behind that, but probably because in interest of time, I have another 15 minutes. I have page 14 out of 23. All right, his caliphate. When I talk about Umar, someone asked me, "What is how do you choose your leaders in Islam?" Rasulullah SAW, when he wanted Abu Bakr to become leader, he hinted, right? He hinted become one of them is Rasulullah explicitly asked Abu Bakr to lead the prayer, right? So this is one of the way of making sure that it's gonna be. When Abu Bakr appointed Umar, he also said it. He also pointed out. But Umar to Uthman bin Affan, Umar has a different way. So what Umar did, Radhi'Allah anhu, is to pick up all the Asar Mubasarah, the 10 people of granted Jannah. At the time, it's only 6. It was Talha, Zubair, Sa'ad bin Abi Waqqas, Uthman, Ali, and Abdul Rahman. Sa'id bin Zaid was not there. And then he asked these 6 people, you do a surah, and then you decide who become the next Khalifa. And if you think about it, I did, the papal conclave, how they choose the Pope in the Vatican. If the Pope died, so they choose what do you call that? The cardinals, the 6 or 7 cardinals, right? The cardinals, and they have to meet among themselves, and then they pick the new leader. If they cannot pick the new leader, they burn something black. If they pick the new leader, they burn something white, something like that. So then people will see, oh, we have the new Pope right now. So it's almost, in a way, it's a surah. They, instead of having a general elections like everyone vote, one person one vote, right? The professor one vote, the poor one vote, the rich one vote, everything is one vote, right? They just only pick the most pious people who choose the leader. So probably one way of choosing the leader is through surah. And Abdurrahman was the first one who says, "No, I'm not going to this." And then he says, "I'm going to choose Uthman," and Ali also said that. So, and again, if you look at from the other narration, they will see it was Ali was actually was what you call, what's the right word for that? Was tricked, was stolen, or something like that. But of course, it's a completely different. If 2 different stories are completely different, opposite to each other, it's only one of them is right, or both are wrong. Inshallah, our version is the right one. We have to have, this is part of our Aqidah, right? Right? Because this, if you think about it, right, Uthman and Ali bin Abi Talib, they are one of the 2 people that Allah already granted Jannah, of course, to Rasulullah SAW, right? Allah cannot be wrong. Allah cannot. The same thing, Tabbat yada Abi Lahabi. Allah cannot be wrong. Abu Lahab will be in hellfire. Right? Abu Lahab can easily say, Asadu la ilaha illallah, then the Quran will be wrong. Right? But if we have a pious person like this, there's only what they do is Allah. They can have a different opinion, but their Aqidah and the closeness to Allah is the top-notch one. So there's no way the story of, like, for example, Ali had heart feeling, and then he said that my caliphate was stolen and stuff like that. This is probably far stretch. All right. I just probably want to go quickly. During the time of Uthman, Islam was spread far and wide. How he did, he's one of the caliphate. He didn't take salary because he's probably already too rich. And he's the one who's the salaries for the governors, for the troops, and even for Muazzin, the also for Baitul Mal. So everything is from Baitul Mal. Baitul Mal, what is Baitul Mal? Is Federal Reserve Bank or something, something like that, right? That concept is there actually. The Baitul Mal is our concept, and every governors will have to get their. There's also tax for the Dimma. The Dimma is the people, the non-Muslim. They have a tax, but the tax is for the protections for everything as well. and there's also money from trading as well. So they got money from that. And again, this is one of the good thing about someone as a caliber as Uthman being a caliph. All right. Yeah, it was Navy was the first time I want to talk about it, but it's probably a bit too long. Yes, Quran Uthman. Yeah, this is one I talk about the three stages of Quran. The first one was during the Makkah time. People already start in scrolls, right? So they started writing in scrolls and so on. But they also bits and pieces. Everyone have probably just only this ayah. Probably some person only does has this verse. And the second stage was it was the time of Abu Bakr, when a lot of battles and the many who passed away, and someone suggested let's just compile one version where the whole verse is compiled into one. So it was the time of Abu Bakr. So they compiled into first one, and the second stage where Muslims already spreading across the peninsulas and different, and also in the ex-Sassanid empires or the Syrian as well, and people start reciting Quran slightly different, and because of that we need to sort of because it's a different tone and different dialect. And at the time, Uthman suggested let's put everything in one tone and one sort of dialect, one everything, and then send everyone. So there will be no fighting of people of what is the right recitations or whatnot. So just quickly on that, the Quran. All right, the assassinations of. I'm not going to go to detail. I think it's probably become too bit more politic. And again, there's a lot of conspiracies about why people do not like Uthman. And again, this is the people. Okay, Uthman always chose the governors from their family, and they always accuse a lot of things that they spread lies and everything. And they managed to get people from Kufa and people from Egypt and everywhere. They walk all the way to Medina, and they besiege the house of Uthman, and they make some negotiations. And after, okay, you go back, let me deal with that, whatever the problem you have. Uthman was known to be very soft, right? It's just soft, and they say, okay, whatever you complain, let me have a meeting and then resolve it and so on. So everyone get ready to go. But before they go, there was a rumor that Uthman sending a message to all the governors: when they come back to your hometown, kill all of them, right? But of course, that letter might not be coming from Uthman, and people just went and they besieged the house, and one of them jumped into Uthman's house and then they killed. This is and one of the things they asked from the mob is to ask Uthman to resign. And Uthman heard from Rasulullah SAW, one day you will wearing a thawb, and then people will ask you to remove it. Whatever happens, do not remove it. And at that time, you understand that thought that Rasulullah mentioned is probably his Khalifa. So he is not going to resign, and then he's not going to fight all this mob. All the Sahaba is ready. Whatever you say, you open your mouth, we're gonna kill all these mobs. No, I'm not gonna be the first Muslim who shed blood on other Muslim. So this is the softness of Uthman, and because of that, it cost his life, and it was the martyrdom of Uthman. And interestingly, uh, he was fasting on that day, and the night before his fasting, he had a dream of meeting Rasulullah SAW. Rasulullah said, did they stop you from eating? Did they stop you from drinking? And are you fasting now or something like that? You can break your fast with us. So he had that reminiscence, and one thing, Brother Ali, that when I read the story, which is shocking for me as well, it was one of the mob, right, was actually the son of Abu Bakr. Muhammad bin Abu Bakr was there, and then was ready to do that as if your father was alive, you would, and then he was just shocked and then dropped the sword. And another person, you can imagine that you kill the son-in-law of Rasulullah SAW, the Sahaba of Rasulullah SAW, and they make false accusations. One of them, they say Uthman was not in the battle of Badr. Uthman was this one. They're all like a stupid, sort of ridiculous accusations. And why is that? That is, and at that time there's no Twitter, there's no Facebook, there's no anything. Just people spreading lies to. Now you can imagine now with the likes of social media, anything, the right become wrong, the wrong become, you don't know which one is right, which one is wrong, right? So it is a lesson for us to be very careful. That's why lies stop at the lies stop at the ears of the mu'min. So in our WhatsApp groups, so many people just forward, yeah, in the name of I want people to know. No, the good Muslim should filter it. If it is negative, it is no. If it is true, right? Check whether the when you spreading it is good or not. If it's bad, do not spread, even though it's true, right? If it's false, no, don't spread it. Definitely, people just come easily right now. So how easy we have to pick up sins and so on. May Allah forgive us. And just to show you how crazy at that time, the one of the mothers, which is Habibah, the one that we talk about, she was so concerned with Uthman. So because she actually next door, so she tried to deliver food and stuff like that. She took her donkey and came to deliver to Uthman. And these people, the mob, they don't even care. There's a lady, the wife of Rasulullah. They even attacked the donkey. And Habibi almost got killed, right? And the situation is so severe. It's so severe. But at that time, there was always sahaba there. And until one day, Uthman says, okay, I don't need all you to look after my house, look after me, you just go home. Including Ali bin Abi Talib. Hassan was there, Hussein was there as well. And then sent everyone home, and he was alone, and that's where the mob came in and jumped and then killed. So he died reading Quran, and the blood spill on Quran. Right. So that is the death of Uthman. What is the legacy of Uthman? I just want to put one legacy. It's enough. But then I found another one, and then okay, I'll just want to go talk about two. The one is his relationship to Quran. You know the hadith of khairukum man ta'alam, what is it? Ta'amal Quran wa 'allamahu, right? The best of you is the one who learned the Quran and teach Quran. Do you know who narrated that? Uthman bin Affan. Uthman bin Affan had a special case. We are not allowed to finish one Quran in one day, right? Uthman bin Affan can do that in one day. He can finish one Quran. He said, if your heart is sincere and pure and clean, you will not stop. You will not put down the Quran. You will continue reading Quran. His love to Quran is just amazing. He can recite in one rak'ah, one Quran, and then I think there was a topic. Is that really necessary? Is that really feasible? If you read the whole Quran, if you go to YouTube, I think there's one video that read the whole Quran is about 26 hours, 28 hours. I don't know whether that YouTube still there. But if you read the whole Quran with the normal speed, I think 28 hours. If you read probably faster, if you read a little bit mumble without yourself, whatever, 8 hours, 6 hours, I don't know, probably 8 hours. So probably you can imagine with one rakat just to recite one Quran. So he's the one who his love to Quran is amazing. He's always associated to Quran. He not only that, right now if you say Quran, even in the non-Muslim literature as well, they call it Uthmanic fonts, Uthmanic Quran, Uthmanic scripture, and the word Uthman is mentioned in there. That is enough of him as a legacy. Whenever you say Quran, who compiled it, who memorized it, who read it every day? A special case. Rasulullah in his hadith mentions about you can only recite Quran finish within 3 days. Cannot be. But Uthman is special because his love to Quran is unstoppable. Right here, you can read that. The second legacy is you can be rich, right? But your richness is actually not in here. It's actually in your hands. You can easily. I found a picture just quickly. This is in Medina. It was probably 1980 something. They're gonna build another hotel, another here, and then you can see the owner of this piece of land was still under Uthman bin Affan.
Actually, I think they are running the charity organization.
Just amazing.
Now there is a bank account for them.
How can you compete with that? The as long as people using that place go to that masjid, pray and drink from the well.
Well also, right? Belong to
All right, I don't have any three, so I think these two is already enough. So if you want to be rich, please be rich. No problem. We have two examples of the sahaba. If you want to be as rich as Uthman, right? So yes, be rich. And it's just amazing, right? I want to bring this. I love this computer. I want to bring this to Jannah. That's why I'm using it to this, right? So hopefully I can meet this in Jannah. I love this wealth so much. If you really love your wealth so much, put the bank of Allah, all right?
Yeah, better one.
Yeah, that's why I have one laptop from office, but I feel a bit awkward to use my personal work in my computer, my office laptop. I rather use my personal laptop to do my office work. Right? You get that? So that means I can do so. I just want to have a nicest laptop like that. Just looking that, I look at my laptop, so it's okay for me to have a nice laptop. May this laptop meet this in Jannah again, right? So how, like Uthman, so he loves his wealth so much, he wants to meet his wealth in Jannah by giving it for the path of Allah. Subhanallah. May Allah make us become people who really can taste the sweetness of reading Quran and can be as rich as Uthman, especially we start by spreading it and spending it, inshallah. Jazakumullah khair. Any simple and easy question?
Yeah. Actually, when the non-Muslims want to attack Islam, they would use the term that the Quran was not compiled in the time of the Prophet.
Mm.
So, how do we respond for that question?
All right. The word Quran itself, qari'ah, is ikra, is from the same root, meaning to recite. So Quran never was a book; it was a recitation from memory. So you cannot wipe off Quran from the entire world. If right now, for some reason, all the printout, all the soft copy of any scripture in the world, whatever scriptures you name it, everything disappear on the face of earth, and then do you think how long the Muslim can come up with the Quran? Very quickly. Do you think how long our brothers in Christianity and Hindu can come up with the books?
Never.
Probably never. Probably never.
Like Surah Baqarah, he says Zalikal Kitab. So it's a book.
It refers to Law Mahfuz. So when Allah, you can do your study. When Allah say kitab, it's always dhalika. Dhalika means that, right? But when Allah say Quran, hadha Qur'ana ala jabalin. When Allah say Quran, hadha, this. So that means Quran, this here, close. When Allah say al-kitab, there, above. Something is written is Law Mahfuz. Something is recite in memory is Quran. So the idea is take them away from the Quran. Never book is a Quran, is recitation from memory. So that's why Rasulullah was ordered by Allah to memorize slowly. Right? So it is actually memories. That's why I said it is a perfect. Everything is so perfect. The Jibril is perfect, right? The Prophet is perfect. The language is perfect. The tradition is perfect for the Quran. What I mean, the tradition and the culture. For example, I mentioned to you earlier that people at that time, they can memorize you, the son of B, the son of C, the son of D, up to 10, 15 generations easily. Not only you have a horse, don't know this horse belongs to this horse, belongs to this horse. They won the championship of this horse, they know this. They used to memorize that. So this is their memories. And it's very easy for you. If the Chinese ask you the question, tell them, you know what? The average Chinese, I think, the average one, like 6, 7 years old, in order for them to read the newspaper. How many Chinese character, you know?
5,000.
Maybe a few thousand.
Few thousand. Few thousand. Not only that, they know the stroke. The stroke has a sequence, right?
Yeah.
Ta. There's a stroke. So a master of Chinese calligraphy, if I give you pen, I move side and then write this Chinese character, and I go back. You wrote it wrong because it should be this stroke first, this stroke first. They even know the single stroke.
Oh, yeah,
But for the Chinese, it's not amazing. For me, it's amazing. What, 4,000 characters? The complete characters.
Honestly, that's why I stopped learning Chinese. First time I came to Asia,
Yeah.
I met the Chinese. I said, can you teach me your alphabet?
Yeah.
He
There's
said-
no alphabet.
He said it's going to be 1,000 characters for a start. I said, what? He said 1,000. I said, I will get old before
Yeah.
I finish memorizing 1,000 characters. I'm struggling with 28. You
Yeah,
tell
because
me
the
1,000?
approach is different. Yeah. That's how I approach it, because there is amazing thing, but for the Chinese, it's not amazing for them. It's day to day, but for us, it's amazing for them. A 8-year-old can memorize 4,000, 2,000, 4,000 characters to be able to read newspaper, right? So you can imagine people at that time. There's no movie, there's no entertainment, there's no anything. It was dark. What they do? Memorize. Memorize A, the son of B, the son of C. This memorize. That's what they do. That's why they expert in genealogy and everything. So the Quran was for Allah to put as a memory. This is the original, right? And then when it's spread across, then they put into kitab, into books.
How do I reply when they said like that memorization might be different
Yeah?
to people?
Is it,
How do I reply?
that is, you can go to YouTube. You can ask. You know the amazing thing about Quran, right? Let's say a sheikh from Saudi came here, right, and leading a salah. A sheikh, Arab speaker, speaking Arabic for 50 years, no other language except Arabic, and then behind him is a 6-year-old Chinese, a 6-year-old Indian, a 6-year-old Indonesian, whatever. They don't even speak a lick of Arabic. And when the sheikh say Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin and say Fatiha wrong, all these 3 kids can correct him. If you say Alhamdulillah or say you said something incorrect or forgot that, all these 3 kids can, even though they cannot even speak Arabic. That is already amazing. Is it? If someone asks that, okay, first of all, usually if someone asks that questions, I usually want to know whether this is asking sincerely want to know, or just want to mock, just want to make fun and stuff like that. If someone making fun, I'll just laugh with them. Right? Sometimes I was in the gym and some people making fun of it. You guys are lucky you can have 4 wives, and they're all laughing. So like, yeah, lucky me. That's fine. But when someone came to me, is that really true? And I said, you really want to know? Yeah. You have tomorrow lunch break. We talk about it. Yeah. If someone really want to know, then ask them. Because if they're really sincere to know, you really want to know why we can have 4 wives? Yeah, you really? Tomorrow lunchtime, we'll talk about it? Okay, all right, okay. That's probably the good way of doing it. Even in the crowd, everyone making it as a joke, I laugh at them as well. Oh, yeah, of course, lucky me, I can have 4, you can only have 1. Right? So, again, the idea is not to argue, right? The idea is to show the truth, and who knows, you just put a little bit of seed of there, and then probably another 1 year after that, someone put another seed, and who knows, you will get closer to Allah. Anything else? Anyone else? Brother Luqman,
Yeah.
any questions? So how many characters you know?
I mean, like,
Countless, right? No one really counted, exactly.
Really count, because you need a lot of time to read, to write. I mean, like, no one really, but I mean, like, some parents really forcing the children to, like, even for the Chinese family, forcing you to, like, read or write the Chinese character from a very young age. But like myself, I learned it from the comic books, something like that, like the Japanese comic book, but the translation with the Chinese translation. So, but and then afterward the textbook and
Yeah.
homework.
And how do you know the sequence? For example, this
But like-
ta, right? This one, right? I know the
For
sequence.
example, like sequence is not really that important compared to
Oh no.
as long as you write the word right, the sequence is not that really important.
Important.
Just like most of them are like from upper to down and
Yeah.
from left to right.
Yes.
Most of them is sequence.
Like this one, right?
Yeah, just like so.
I forgot this one. I know Chot How, right?
Oh yeah, try how yes.
Everywhere you see this.
Eh? Yeah, exit. Yeah. This is actually, Bao is actually mouth.
This is
Yeah,
how.
this is mouth. Yeah, this is mouth.
In Mandarin. Sometimes I mix with Mandarin. This is
Mandarin is kou.
ko in it, ko, but then in Mandarin, bao, right? I remember bao, something like that.
这个是包，
包，yeah.
包是另外一个。
Yeah. This is mouth. When you put hill, it becomes exit.
Yeah.
No,
This
hill
is, this is amazing.
Sun.
This is amazing. Another amazing.
Only one W.
One W.
It's like to me Arabic is very
When you
amazing.
say
Yeah.
hill, one W. When you say exit, two W.
Oh yeah, 2W. Right? 2W.
This is for exit.
And this is Shan. Shan,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Yes,
This is for
this is mountain.
Yeah, it's a mountain.
Mountain.
Okay. It is amazing. Like the word, I know goat, but you put big goat become pretty, right? May. This is a combination of big goat. Big goat means pretty, or something like that. Jazakumullah khair. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika asyhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Allah is the one, the one, the one.